Imagine being trapped in a place where the lines between reality and nightmare are blurred. A place where the authorities have complete control, and the prisoners are at their mercy. Welcome to the Stanford Prison Experiment, a notorious psychological study that pushed the boundaries of human behavior. In this documentary, we'll explore the events that led to one of the most infamous experiments in psychology history. Was it groundbreaking research or a fabrication of deceit? Let's dive into the dark world of the Stanford Prison Experiment. The story begins in 1971, when Stanford University professor Philip Zimbardo embarked on an ambitious project to study the dynamics of power and authority. He created a mock prison in the basement of the psychology building, complete with steel bars, cells, and uniforms. 24 male college students, mostly white and middle class, were randomly assigned to play the roles of either guards or prisoners. The experiment was designed to last for 2 weeks, but what unfolded was a descent into chaos and madness. The students were given minimal instructions, and the guards were told to maintain order and discipline. The prisoners, on the other hand, were arrested at their homes, handcuffed, and transported to the mock prison. The experiment began with a sense of excitement and curiosity, but it quickly took a dark turn. The guards, wearing mirrored sunglasses to conceal their eyes, began to assert their authority, enforcing arbitrary rules and punishing prisoners for minor infractions. As the days passed, the guards became increasingly sadistic, while the prisoners began to exhibit signs of extreme stress and anxiety. One prisoner, known as Doug 8612, had a mental breakdown after just 36 hours, becoming catatonic and unable to speak. The experiment was spiraling out of control, but Zimbardo, who had become the superintendent of the prison, seemed to be losing objectivity. Zimbardo's girlfriend, Christina Maslach, a graduate student at the time, was one of 50 observers who witnessed the experiment. She was horrified by what she saw and confronted Zimbardo about the ethics of the experiment. Her concerns fell on deaf ears, but eventually, she would be the one to sound the alarm. As the experiment continued, the prisoners began to rebel, and the guards responded with brutal force. The situation became increasingly dire, with some prisoners experiencing extreme emotional distress. Zimbardo, still in his role as superintendent, seemed to be in denial about the severity of the situation. It wasn't until Maslach threatened to expose the experiment to the university administration that Zimbardo finally intervened. The experiment was terminated after just 6 days, with many prisoners still exhibiting signs of trauma. The aftermath was marked by controversy and debate. Zimbardo defended his research, claiming that it revealed the darker aspects of human nature. He testified before Congress, advocating for stricter prison reform and arguing that the environment, not the individual, was responsible for the behavior. However, recent research has raised questions about the validity of Zimbardo's findings. Some have suggested that the guards were coached to behave in certain ways, and that the results were exaggerated for the sake of publication. The Stanford Prison Experiment has become a defining example of the power of situational factors in shaping behavior, but its legacy is now shrouded in controversy. Was the Stanford Prison Experiment a groundbreaking study, or a fabrication of deceit? The truth lies somewhere in between. While the experiment did reveal some disturbing insights into human behavior, its methodological flaws and potential biases have cast a shadow over its conclusions. As we reflect on this infamous experiment, we're left with more questions than answers. What drives ordinary people to commit atrocities? How far will we go to conform to authority? The Stanford Prison Experiment serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the fragility of the human psyche. As we close this chapter, we're reminded that the line between good and evil is often blurred, and that the environment can indeed shape our behavior. But it's also clear that the pursuit of knowledge must be tempered with ethics and skepticism. If you want to explore more thought-provoking documentaries and investigations, be sure to subscribe to Mind Trap. Join our community of curious minds, and together, let's unravel the mysteries of the human experience. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.